What is up, you guys? This is MiniSuperHeroes Today. And yes, it's true, this is a Mega Bloks review on the channel, but there is an interesting LEGO tie-in. Let me explain. This is the Mega Bloks Spider-Man Marvel Collector's Edition Volume 1, Spider-Man vs. Venom. It was for ages 6 and up, had 280 pieces, and came out in the year 2004. Now, to my LEGO experts out there, what does that tell you? This came out at the exact same time that the Spider-Man 2 sets came out from LEGO. So Mega Bloks and LEGO were both putting out Spider-Man sets at the same time. Something like that would absolutely never happen today, so I thought this was a really interesting set to take a look at, especially because it's Mega Bloks and it's just something we don't look at much here on the channel. Now, with that being said, I can't find out how much this cost in 2004. I've done research, can't find it. If anybody knows, drop a comment and let me know. But on the low end, I'm going to say it was maybe like $25. On the high end, I'm going to say it was probably $40. So really, really cool all around. But I do have something else interesting to point out. Think about it. Let's say on the high end that this was a $40 set. Well, in 2022, this is a $50 set with 155 pieces. Now, I know 4 Plus tends to have like bigger molded pieces, but guess what? So does Mega Bloks. Those big pieces there are all big individual ones, like these walls. So I thought it was an interesting comparison. Without spoiling the review, if this was even $40, which it might have been less than that, I think this was a great deal, and yeah, I really want to take a look at this. So let's wind back in time, do something a little different, and check out this review of a set that was 18 years old today. Now, something interesting to look at is actually the box, which isn't much of a box at all. It's actually a tin. Look how nice that is. It's got the Ultimate Spider-Man designs on there, and I think it's really cool that, you know, you could open this up and display the set alongside it, or you could build it on the back here, almost like a little tray. But really, the idea of getting a tin is pretty eco-friendly in a lot of ways, because you're not just like throwing away a box that this set came in, but I think that's a lot for your money too. Just, you know, you could keep spare pieces in there, you could break down the set and do it. I just think it's really cool to get a tin as opposed to just a regular box. What do you guys think? Then, of course, we've got the figures. It's hard to call these minifigures, but I guess for lack of a better term, they are. Now, all is fair. This was the 2004 Spider-Man figure, so if you went into like a Walmart, these are the 2 Spider-Mans you could get. I don't think it's any secret that the LEGO version does look better, but it is interesting that the Mega Bloks one has like muscly arms, a muscled torso. Of course, you could still move the head, and just like a LEGO figure, the arms move up and down, the wrists side to side, and of course, the legs are posable just like that. And I can't believe I just dropped this. This is like an $80 figure now. Just dropped him. Whoops. Here we have the police officer, and honestly, he's a little, like, frightening. I don't know. There's just something that's, like, a little too realistic about his head for me. It's a little uncanny valley, but overall, it's not terrible. You know, I'm glad they threw in some kind of civilian, or I guess just somebody for the hero and villain to interact with in their battle. But it's not great, but it's not terrible either. Here we have Mary Jane, and you can actually turn her head, which, you know, might be a surprise because of her long hair, but it is interesting. She does have a very feminine figure. You know, if Spider-Man has a muscly torso and arms, they gave Mary Jane a very slender, feminine figure, as you can see, which is a little jarring because we're not used to that with LEGO figures, but it is kind of cool that, you know, these kind of stand out on their own as their own thing. And the last figure we get is Venom. Now, I feel like you guys are either going to love or hate this Venom, because I do really like that he's bulked up, but at the same time, he's definitely maybe a little too bulked up. Like, his shoulders are so much wider than even Spider-Man's, you know? It's cool, though. They made him a little bit bigger without having to compensate for the legs. And again, putting a LEGO figure next to him, I do think that he actually looks pretty good. You know, when you consider how cartoonishly big Venom is in the comics and the cartoons of this era, I do feel like this is the one figure that would translate over to your LEGO collection pretty well if you wanted to have the Mega Bloks Venom fight Spider-Man. So what do you guys think? Drop a comment and let me know. Here we have the police vehicle, which looks a lot like a Humvee, which was super popular at the time, like 2004. There's a big open gaping hole right there, which really would not happen by today's standards, at least for LEGO sets, that is. But the nice thing is you can get your finger under there and open it so you could access the inside where there's an area for a passenger. There's a cool little console up there with like radio dials and air conditioning, it looks like. Then, of course, both doors open so you could get your police officer inside and all that. But the big thing to really point out about it is, look how, a lot of these are just big, giant pieces. Whereas with a Lego set, even back then, you would have built each individual piece. A lot of this are just big, uniquely molded pieces for this set. So I think there's something to be said for that it's cool that this set got a lot of unique and exclusive pieces, but at the same time, it does lose a little charm by doing that. And then, of course, we have our two buildings. I'll show you them in the order that we build them as we go through the set. You can see that the building itself has lots of big pieces that really help make this thing taller, but I don't necessarily hate that. Now you'll see there's lots of stickers on here, and I actually had to use double-sided tape to put them on because over 18 years they've lost all of their stickiness. It was even a brand new sticker sheet and it lost all its stickiness. Lego tends not to have that problem, but I can totally give a pass. Now there is a very cool accessory here. Let me refocus the camera. It's kind of rubbery, but it's a little Daily Bugle newspaper. You can see that there's like a 23 degrees thing on there. Spider-Man, friend or foe. There's a picture of Mary Jane, Doc Ock, even Venom in there. And I'll go ahead and show you with a Lego figure, this is a relatively compatible piece. Like, it's a little bit of a stretch to get it in the figure's hands evenly, but it is pretty cool that it's like scaled properly for a Lego minifigure and everything too. Now again, hopping back over to the review of the set, let's keep in mind, like I said, this was probably like in the $30 range. Low end 25, high end 40, but this is a lot of set, especially when you consider there's the police car, 4 figures and all that. I really, really like it. I really like this mailbox thing here. This is actually the only printed piece in the set. There's a hole so you could drop mail through and collect it out of the bottom. That's quite cool. But yeah, there's not really too terribly much to say. The newsstand down here actually falls forward, like, Spider-Man and Venom can knock it over in battle, and it's supposed to be like a ramp for the car to drive up and over. Kind of interesting, but I don't know. The newsstand, it's like, where are the newspapers? You get one, but I don't know, there should be more. Then I really like this Daily Bugle flag that we hang off the front. There's these two really unique gargoyle pieces, which are pretty cool. And then moving all the way back up to the top, if we spin over here, you can see that there's actually a web piece that you can pull. And we'll go ahead and clip Spider-Man's hand on there. And then when you hold this button in, it webs him back up, it retracts. Now the cool thing too is, if you just hold it a little bit, it'll only retract a little bit. So I think that that's really cool. I don't know what mechanism that is, but this is really something that I think Lego should try to integrate into a set now. That would be a really, really cool play feature. I really like that. But anyways, that's the first building that we build here. And I'll spin it around again so you can see the hollowed out empty inside. We've got our second building over here, and up top there's this very cool billboard for Venom. I like when Lego does billboards that it actually will put like a Lego version of a figure in there, so that's a little jarring that they didn't do that here, but again, this was 18 years ago. I like this giant window sticker right there. That's quite cool. And then as far as stickers go, we have this bank sticker, but you can see that it actually spans across several bricks, something that wouldn't be done today, but it's very comic book stylized. It's a little bit jarring. If we go to the inside here, you can see that, it's another bear inside, but you can push this window out and there's a play feature on the front. So let's do that again. I guess I did that a little out of order. So you set the little balcony up here and then you push the window in and it knocks the balcony over like that. There's a little mechanism right there that moves. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a pretty decent play feature. There are some little clips here on the side that you can use to have like Spider-Man scale the wall, or Venom. I guess Venom has that ability as well. And then there's just a little lamppost down here, so nothing too crazy, some stickers like I said, but let's zoom out and I'll give you my final thoughts on this set. Alright guys, well drop a comment below and let me know what you think. Needless to say, I really like this set. I had it as a kid, it was super fun to build back then, and it was even fun to build now. I'm gonna do some more Mega Bloks reviews, but don't worry, it's not turning into a Mega Bloks channel. I just have found some really interesting Marvel Mega Bloks sets, and I've got them all in the mail on the way, so in the next coming days, I'll be showing them to you as I get them. Anyways, thanks for checking out this video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.
Thanks for checking out today's video. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to hit like and subscribe down below. And while you're here, maybe check out one of my other videos.